what happened? I'm not really sure what to say about whatever the heck that was. I mean, you go from winning 7-2 and 5-0 to losing 6-1 in awful fashion. I not really sure what to say. I mean, errors constantly. We had 3 errors on the game, and they were bad errors too. They were not good errors. Even if there is any such thing as a good error, nonetheless you had 3 errors. Donaldson makes a throwing error. Smoke makes another one. To the top of my head, I can't figure out who got the other one. And it was just stupid mistakes. Devin Travis, bad base running. Yes, the guy goes, ends up going 3 for 5 in the ball game. Great. But you need to be able to use your head and run the bases. And once again, he gets thrown out at third and a ground ball to short. That's happened a couple times lately. I mean, Lariano wasn't great, but he didn't get really much help. The Jays left 11. Well, no, actually, I think it was 12 base runners in total throughout the whole game. 12. Scored 1 run of a sacrifice fly. You're not going to win a lot of ball games playing like that. You really aren't. I mean, they didn't look good whatsoever. And it's so hard to watch this team because you never know what you're going to get from one day to the next. As we said, the last couple games have been really, really nice and fun to watch. Whereas today was a game where probably a lot of people turned their TVs off pretty quick. With Lariano pitching okay and then Tepera not doing too well as well. Both his runs were unearned as well. 4 of these runs were unearned runs. Yes. 4 of the 6 were unearned runs. I mean, I'm trying to pick out some positives. Russell Martin was 2 for 4. Edwin was 2 for 5. Like I said, Travis was 3 for 5. But stupid base running mistakes, bad fielding, not clutch hitting whatsoever is going to kill you. And it happened tonight. And I love how yesterday we talked about, this team, didn't strike out much. 1, 2, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts. Now, that's not an insane number, but Ricky Nolasco himself had 7. And Boston won. So they're now 3 up on us. Baltimore, thank goodness they lost, so we're still first in the wild card. At this point in the season, the Jays are not showing a sense of urgency like they did last season. I understand last season it's totally different than this year, but they're not showing a sense of urgency. You know what I mean? And we want to see some urgency because they're starting to lose the division fast. At one point we were 3 games ahead of everybody. Now we're 3 back. And we're not really gaining any ground whatsoever. This sucks. It really does. We'll do a little standings update here. I understand we lost and people don't really want to see it. Like I said, Jays are still 3 games back. Baltimore lost. We still have the first wild card spot. Detroit lost. And Seattle lost. So therefore, not too bad. Actually, no. Seattle's playing right now. Am I right? No, it's over. Seattle lost 2-1 to Houston. I'm not sure if that was recent or this is updated, but nonetheless, the Jays have at the very least a 2.5 game lead, maybe a 3 game lead in the wild card. So they're still there, but we want to see some urgency. We want to see them playing really good baseball going into the postseason, right? And you're playing teams that should be destroyed. Now, if they win tomorrow, then winning 3 or 4 against the Angels, it's pretty good. They did okay. But just seeing the performance tonight was rough. Donaldson's back at third, and then he makes an error. Goes 0 for what? Is it 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 today? I think it was 0 for 4. 0 for 4, doesn't get on base, strikes out once. It's a rough night for him, but you're going to have that. I mean, he was so hot when he came back. Tough. Especially when Boston comes from behind and wins once again. You're hurt at that point. I mean, obviously they came back a couple nights ago and, obviously got that win. And then they come from behind again today and they win again. I mean, they're a good team. They don't give up. They don't quit. They could be down a couple runs late. They're never out of it. And that's what we think the Jays can be. We know they can. We've seen it. But it's the consistency that's really, really hurting. And we need to start seeing more consistency out of this team moving forward. I mean, you're going to get to this stretch of the season where it's going to be crunch time, where you're playing the Yankees and you're playing the Red Sox and the Orioles all at once to end the season. And you don't really want to be playing the worst baseball of the year and continue to play the worst baseball of the year through that stretch. Nonetheless, tomorrow, Marcus Stroman versus Alex Mayer. It's a 3:35 start, so it's technically an afternoon game out in LA. Winning the series 3-1, it's a success. People wanted sweeps. Yeah, it would have been nice to get a sweep over the Angels, but they have some okay players. They have some very good players. Trout and Pujols, I gotta say, are very, very talented guys. And they've done enough to beat us once and beat us at home 2 out of the 3. So let's take the series tomorrow. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Hey, if you liked the video, I know it was a little boring one. I know it was one of those games where you're like, man, it just sucked. Hit that like button anyways if you enjoyed it. If you really enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully the Jays will start turning things around. And I just want to give you guys a heads up, though. This upcoming series against Seattle might be a weird one for the videos. I have, works. I'll be starting work at 5 in the morning the next day, so, games starting at 10 o'clock might be tough. Most likely you'll be getting the games at about 2 o'clock. The videos might be coming out the following day. I apologize for that in advance. Just staying up till like 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning, and then having to get up at 4 o'clock or something for work is just, it's not serviceable for 3 or 4 days in a row. But hey, tomorrow's game will be a normal one. We will get it right after the game, and hopefully it's a Jays win and a series win. That's what we want. And we'll have a little bit of Twitter talk while that game is going on. Today was a little bit of a down one. A little busy today, so I couldn't really get on the Twitter. But we will tomorrow. We'll talk to you guys over there, and we'll talk to you guys post-game. So we'll see you guys then, all right? Let's get a series win.